So we're not going to use that for now.
That's fine.
Hello, I think we're back on. Are we back on? Can we check that if it's working?
Would you happy to keep the marker there for the time being?
Hello, can you hear us? I think we're back on. The thing said telling me that we're streaming, so I guess it's working.
We can see the table.
So we were able to get a quick fix in where we hope, guys, you can actually look at the table right now. We're gonna get people who are more savvy than us in using this technology to come back afterwards, but it's gonna be after this game for sure. So we are looking at a game, and it's gonna be, you know.
That's not us.
It's not ours. Okay. Well, I'm gonna, you know, do the thing that we have to do in the very beginning, which is looking at, you know, factions and everything. So on the left, who is the caster on the left? I think Xerxis2.
Yes.
And
that is Dimitri.
So what is Dimitri playing? Looks like a lot of
he has
huge
Xerxis2. So in that list we have an Agonizer, an Archidon, 2 Basilisk Krea, 1 Desert Hydra, a Rhinodon. We then have Tyrant Zaadesh with Gladiator, Max Paingiver, Beast Handlers, and a Siege Animantarax. So that's 3 huge bases, which is obviously going to be a pain. And then against him we have Zeren.
So I need some help to spell it.
Yep, let me just bring that up for you. So this is... okay, so Zeren Fang with Cygnar. Looking at his list...
oops, sorry. More change.
I can see Stormlighters, so we will be looking at Stryker2. So that list we have is Stryker2 with a Centurion, Ironclad and Squire, a Journeyman with a Firefly, Katherine Laddermore, minimum Stormlancers, maximum Stormlancers, Stormblade Infantry with Officer and 2 weapon attachments, and another Stormblade Infantry with just the UA, no additional Storm Gunners there. So Stryker2. We're just updating the faction details now. So there you go. Everyone's happy. Apologies for everything we got working by the end of the day, and obviously the gremlins have jumped in and not sure what's happened. Yeah. So on the other tables, we have. Let's bring this up. So on table 2, the one next to it, we have Alexander versus Luke. These teams, just in case you missed, is China, Tai Chi, and Russia. You say this better than I do.
Matryoshka, I guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're not the best at the details, but we have. So we have Alexander versus Luke. So Alexander is playing.
Right now we have, I think,
Cygnar, and that's into circle, and it looks as though we have. Okay, so that looks to be Kruger 2 with a Wold Wrath, and in that one is a Wold Wrath, 3 Wold Reards, Black-clad Stone Shapers. This is the Bones of a Warhost theme. 2 Black-eyed Wayfarers, Gallows Grove, Century Stones, Mannequins, and Shifting Stones. And I'll find out what he's against. We've then got Natalia, who's also circled for Russian team. She's with Wormwood. And she is playing into Andreas with Thyron. Thyron, yeah. So that's a bit of a crazy list. I'm not sure how that's come down. I'd imagine Wormwood would have a bit of an advantage there.
Is the Thyron list with like a lot of infantry? Because in any way, you know, they could be either Stranglehold every day on every big jacks.
Yep.
Red player could be.
It's got a AFG in there. I'll just bring in the list now. So it's Thyron with 2 Hydras, 3 Arcanist Mechanics, Feint Knight Isian, 2 Ghost Snipers, Houseguard Thane, List Healer, 2 Heavy Rifle teams, Maximum Halberdiers with Officer and a Solus Escort, and then 2 Arcane Force Generators converted to be Walkers, which look pretty cool. And that's Defenders of Ios theme. And then we'll just crack on with the rest of them. So we've got Victor versus Hey, I'm going to say that wrong all day, so bear with me on the awful naming. So Hey is also Retribution, and I'll go find out all the matchup details for them. But it's I mean, just as an overall broad view, it's a very sort of like, there's no cricks.
There's no cricks. It doesn't feel like a lot of those teams that came with like super duper, lists that are known for being overpowerful.
They're not the meta lists.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, not your meta lists at the moment.
For example, Xerxis2 being, the big base that he is. It's usually complicated to have him, hide or avoid any kind of list that would have a strong assassination game.
Yep.
So
we do have the Hydra with its Animus.
There is
which
absolutely
cut down the shooting, and also the Lancers have just lost the shooting off the Lancers. But in this case, they actually gained probably something that's a bit more useful, which is the +2 strength or +2 damage. I can't remember how it went on. So now power 16 on the charge.
Oh.
Which would probably be useful in this game.
Yeah, the thing is, once the Skorne player is going to start to lose one of his big pieces, either the Animantarax or the Hydra, and they are not that complicated to destroy, it's going to be complicated for him to at least be able to keep scoring, contesting, and I guess here the Cygnar player is going to have an edge. Is going to be in a better position to trade pieces and dictates the engagement overall.
Just looking at the sides there, is there much that Xerxis can take advantage of?
Not
Doesn't
really.
really look like it.
It can't really hide so well. So
No.
the only thing that could be interesting here is that the hill might be big enough for a huge base to be on, like Xerxis maybe.
Maybe
the elevation. But
I mean, that whole army, due to the speed buff, is going to be fighting in that centre, so I wouldn't expect this to be much of a live scenario. I think this is probably going to come down to either it's going to come down to assassination because they've both got such big threat ranges, or it will come down to one side just collapsing, I would imagine. On that note, though, for Xerxis, he's basically got to be contesting the 2 side zones, which he can do with the huge bases. He can get them in both points, just between the rectangle and the circle. So that's easy enough for him to contest. But in that list, he's only really got the Beast Handlers and Xerxis himself that can score those outer zones, whereas the Cygnar player does have a mixed army.
And you do want to put your beastanders in the zones anyway, because if you get them any too close, I'm pretty sure there is enough electro leaps from the Cygnar player to just get rid of him in just a couple of attacks, and in that case you're left with basically contesting and just scoring the middle zone.
I'm going to go find out the other matchups and move that clock so we can see it.
Oh, cool.
Right,
thank you. Okay. In the meantime, if you guys have any questions, Stream seems to be running fine on our hand. And Chris just changed the side of the clock, which is very helpful. So again, sorry for the little mishaps in the very beginning. We're not going to be able to use all the features that we have set up for this stream right now. We hope to have everything back up after lunch, so the lunch break. Xerxis just fell out of his horse. I have one myself. It's pretty complicated to transport this model, so usually one of the weapons snaps, and because the weapon is very thin at this base, it's basically a nightmare to get it back. So and the Skorne player is putting his awesome widgets to show his deployment area. Most of the other tables actually started playing already. So just a quick explanation on the terrain maybe before we start. So as you can see, we have this double rounded zone for scoring. On the top one there is something that looks like a house, which this turn is actually an obstruction. On the bottom one there is something that looks like a house as well. It looks like the inside of a house, and this is actually a hill. Left to that squared hill there's a wall. On the other side of that rounded zone there is a forest, and on the top, just on top of that forest, there is another forest. And actually, forests are pretty easy to spot, right? So, and the things on the areas are actually pumpkin.
Right. So
something happened. Sorry, Artemus, we are not fueled yet. Oh, it's a game that they have, like if somebody says beer or something, I'm supposed to drink. So some people know.
Okay.
And usually at the end of the day, you end up doing a very high quality stream.
Yes, I can imagine. It is only the start of round one though, so
not yet. See,
yeah,
we already messed up the whole thing and we haven't even started. So yeah,
we'll see.
Oh, game is starting. Deployments.
Okay, so just to give an update on the other tables. So on the other tables, it came down to, so we're obviously seeing Xerxis2 versus Stryker2 on this table. On the table next to it, we have Haley 3 versus Kruger. Table next to that is Wormwood versus Thyron. Then we have Butcher 3 versus Helena. And then Osram versus Xerxis1 on the final table. So, questions. How do you think it's going to go? Who do you think is going to pull this one out?
I don't know. It doesn't look like. Do you think that there's actually people actually messed up with choosing the right list against their opponent? I mean, we just talk about Tyrant against Wormwood. So Wormwood can basically, if there is too many infantries, there's going to be Hellmouth everywhere. If there is a Colossal Gargantuan, it's going to be. Oh wait, can it be Stranglehold still? Wasn't that changed? I don't remember. I don't think.
Yeah, still be Stranglehold.
Yeah. So that's that's.
He doesn't. All he has is 2 Hydras. It's mainly infantry. It looks like he's got 2 Hydras. It's only big models. The rest is Halberdiers. You've got the 2 Arcane Force generators.
Is there a Solace Escort with those units?
On the Halberdiers, there is a Solace Escort. So that one's got the immunity to magic. You have Wormwood's kind of a bit stuck on the, because although he can stranglehold the 2 big bases, if they get into position, they've got such a long range.
I don't think he's going to go for the Wormwood player is going to go for that route. So there's so many Halberdiers, and the Hellmouth is just going to be just punching holes for those units. And 2 Hydras, okay, it's an issue, but you keep 2 transfers. Is it really so much of an issue?
I don't
as
see...
As long as you keep yourself safe behind a forest or anything.
Yeah.
But you know what? This is not the game we're commentating. Right now something is happening. No, they're still deploying. It's fine.
They're still deploying. So what do you think on the other table there? We've got with Thyron against Wormwood. Who are you calling?
I would say Wormwood.
So
I would say Wormwood on this one.
So
I would say Wormwood because it's gonna put so much hurt. Actually, wait. No. I'm gonna come back on this because I realize there's many solos. I'm not so sure.
Go on, quick. Good reaction.
Well, I failed to see. I failed to see, but I'm not sure like Tyrant is optimal with all those things. I see like the synergy between Tyrant and the Halberdiers. I'm not so sure about the snipers and the other things. So I'm gonna go with Wormwood anyway.
Gonna stick
okay?
with Wormwood.
We're gonna take Wormwood.
Okay, we got Wormwood there. We've got Kruger and Haley 3.
Okay,
so
I'm rooting whatever the list. I'm rooting for Haley 3.
You're rooting for Haley 3.
I think it's a fantastic caster. It's very technical, it's very complicated to play, but when you know how to play very well,
Definitely.
very rewarding.
And also with the news, the mercenary solos, they're going to be taken in the Gravediggers theme. So she'll basically get to take the list that she's taking now, near enough, but we'll get sort of free solos to go with it. So Haley 3 is going to be seeing kids. If you don't know what she does, you will soon. So in this one, I'm thinking I'm going to go for the Kruger on this one. The reason for that is there's 3 Waldweirds in the Kruger list. So if an Arcane Shield, if he wants to protect him with Arcane Shield, there's the difficulty there.
And they are less sight, right?
What's wrong?
They have eyeless sight, the Waldweird, right? Or?
They don't have eyeless sight, but they do have just various leaps and various ways of throwing things around. You have Kruger as well, so if he can break the cloud wall, then at that point I think it starts to sort of crumble. And I'm not sure as well whether baby Haley, maybe she can, but whether baby Haley will make it to the Wallbrath and be able to actually take down the Wallbrath. Magical attacks everywhere. The Wallbrath itself though doesn't have magical attacks, which is a weird.
But she's weapon master on her hands, which is very interesting.
Yeah, with reach. I can only imagine she gets very long fingers.
And on the other hand, the Wallbrath is spell ward.
Yep.
And so how magic? Something is happening.
Something weird is happening.
But
I'm gonna go for Kruger on this one. I think there's enough magic in there that he can potentially take down the echoes, and then once the echoes are down, just see how that goes. Right, so the next table we have is Butcher 3 versus Helena's. This is like lots of Manticores in the Helena.
So I think
there you go. So we've got 3 Manticores, 3 Hydras, 2 Chimera, Silas, 3 Mechanics, and an Artificer.
I want to go with Butcher on this one.
Yeah, I see. The other part to me as well is this Butcher is he wants to get into the centre, he wants to push things around, he's got no problem taking down those jacks, but for me actually the kicker is that there's just no units in that Helena list. So that's, as we said before, that's like 2 sections of the board that are potentially there for Butcher to take advantage of.
I just feel like, I don't know, I haven't seen the list, I'm picking sides without looking at what players are actually playing, which is interesting, right? But I feel like, I've seen Butchers just getting a lot of jacks around him and like getting 3 or 4 in a turn and be like, what are you going to do on this side now?
I think you can do it.
I'm good.
And then the last one we have is Ostrom Xerxis.
Xerxis 1?
Xerxis 1. Now I think, and I'll have to just look up the.
With Ostrom, I don't know about the list, but
I think this one is going to Ostrom. I think what has happened, and if I can find the mercenary list.
Oh, the game has started.
Oh, the game is going.
Yeah, the game is going, and we have Rhinodon, I think, starting. Is the Rhinodon? I'm not sure. It's actually a Krea, I guess.
Right.
It's either a Krea or a Drake.
Yeah. Right, yeah, so that one, I think he dropped Xerxis because the other list was Texas with a million men. Okay. So it was a bit of a switch. Yeah, he's outpicked. So, I mean, the Xerxis list, I think, might be able to push through because it's still Skorne, but I think that's definitely in the favour of...
it depends on the number of dwarves. The thing is, like, you can start the death chain, let's put it this way, depending on... Is it a gun bunny list?
It is just gun bunny.
So it's not going to work.
Yeah,
this Parasite only affects 1 model at a time, so you're going to be able to, remove 1 bunny, maybe 2 if you swap, but in the meantime, the bunnies are just going to flow for your army.
Okay. So
I guess it's a Krea because I see some kind of tokens next to it, and I guess that's what you do with a Krea. You just move forward and say, hey, this is my aura. Although, is there so many, long-range shooting on the Stryker list that would justify taking so much time to actually work around your Krea bunker?
Okay. So, just tighten up the results. Depending on this one, we've kind of predicted a Russia win here.
Is it Stryker2 or 3 by the way?
It's Stryker. Oh.
Because I see a horse, but it
Is
could
that
be
Laddermore? I think that's Laddermore. It says Stryker2 on Conflict Chamber.
I guess Stryker2.
Unless I've totally misread it, but I'm pretty sure that said Stryker2.
So,
if you want to follow along, yeah, Stryker2. If you want to follow along with the list as well, if you go to Conflict Chamber, it has all the teams lists on there for you to read and go through. If you want to see the details, if you just get a winning list and you want to see how it did and what was in it specifically, it's all on Conflict Chamber.
It's the new version of the Tyrant sculpt, which is huge.
So, what are your thoughts with this one then? So we've got the advanced move there, so it's turn 1 for the Xerxis, 2 Stormblades have advanced up.
The thing is, like, the way I see it, I think that the Stryker list has the power to just go through all those big models.
Yep.
And, you know, once you lose, I don't know, the Hydra or the Animantarax or both, this is pretty much game over, because the Cygnar Army are just going to be able to take one side of the board and just keep sending something on the other side and be like, I'm scoring, you're not. I'm scoring, you're not. I'm scoring, you're not.
Yep.
And in the end, you know, by turn 7, maybe he's not going to win, like on scenario, but he's probably by turn 7 gonna have enough points to just say, hey, I win. The other thing is Stryker himself. I'm pretty sure, like, if Xerxis, because he's only solo on Fury, if he wants to cast, you know, a couple of spells here and there, Stryker can just be the usual,
yeah,
the infamous Stryker2 power up. I'm gonna blow myself and see what happens.
Go
I'm gonna
Super
end up
Saiyan.
about 20-ish, and I'm gonna start eating you. And either it could be Xerxis and be armor close to 20. Well, at some point you just die.
Yeah.
Does the Cygnar player have the major gifts in his list? Because I've seen this someday. Then the Cygnar player we have this new Cygnar solo.
It does not. It's in Storm Division.
Okay.
So can't take him in that.
Because I've seen one Cygnar player do this, and like he was using Stryker very very upfront, and he basically used it at some point to just destroy your heavy, using the the overpower thing, and then he went back and he used the mini feat from Major Gibbs and be full back again, and this just won 17 points over his opponent, and it wasn't even that complicated to do. Or
yeah, it looks like the Hydra's moved up. And
probably put his Animus.
I think it's put its Animus on there, so Xerxis is following up behind him. Now, unfortunately, people, we managed to get the screen back, but the Telecaster is down for the moment, so we're going to have to try to verbally explain where we're talking about. But
on the score side, it's pretty easy. We have 3 big bases,
yes.
One with multiple necks,
yeah,
one with a horn, and the other one is a turtle. So we're going to say necks, turtle. Yeah. On the other side, turtle, next rhino.
Yeah. Okay, so just for those out there, Sandstorm is when the model targets a model within this command range, you get -3 range. So basically, if anything is within 6 of the Hydra, any shots at those models are at -3 range. What that does mean is I don't believe the guns on there are at very big range, probably range 10 at most.
Well, this is the thing here about this. Oh wait, we might have the Animantarax. No, it's fine. The thing about this Animus is that really, when you have something that shoots you from range 12, which is most of the time, and like you come to range 9, it means basically when somebody in the other side of the table is playing Xerxis2 with the +2 speed to the battle group, if you try to shoot at something, you're gonna be in charge and right afterwards.
Range 4. Range 4 on those.
-4?
Range 4 on those Stormblade Infantry, so range 1. Against
so that is not okay. Not a lot of things are going to happen there, but this is it. Like if you have like a list that's going to rely on shooting, and you want to shoot at those models, and you think you're going to be able to be out of range of a Skorne Army being, retaliating and charging you back with the Hydra Animus, you're going to have to be in charge range. Yeah. There's no unless you have snipe.
I mean, I've just seen. I was missing out. They get +2 range, so there's 3-inch range shots.
Awesome.
So I guess it's Cygnar. This is what you expect from Cygnar. Some long range. Accurate shooting.
Well,
yeah.
There seems to be Darude. Darude is playing Sandstorm right now.
I can imagine this one's probably going to be a quick game. I could see that because you're going to have end of turn 1, Xerxis is nearly in the zones anyway. He's got the Animantarax in the bottom zone. I don't think the Archidon is quite in the top zone there, but obviously easily in. So I'd imagine the next turn for the Cygnar player is going to be advancing. The threat ranges are quite big, so that's the bonus to go in first turn on this scenario, is that because the zones are quite central, you can get right up to them. You force your opponent to have to come in and try and contest, otherwise you'll just take zones. In the scenario it currently is, if no one was to come in, or if only to put sort of poultry models in, the Animantarax can score the bottom zone, and then if Xerxis wants to, he can touch both of the top and middle zone.
Can the Animantarax score on the bottom one? Isn't it?
Yep, it's oh sorry, yeah,
it's for infantry, right?
Sorry, yeah, sorry, the middle. So yeah, so Xerxis can jump either below or the top to score 2 of the zones. You might even see the beast handlers run in for some like an early scenario pressure.
I'm not sure. I think as I said before, I think it's a bit dangerous to expose your beast handlers right away, because the free charge in Skorne is really, this is really what the thing was missing when they decided to change Skorne again. It was really this, I'm missing one attack to finish the job.
All those beast handlers are all taking a run south, it looks like.
Yeah. Probably to whip the Animantarax next turn, giving him those very cool rage tokens that allow the Animantarax to basically work as War Beast, except it doesn't lose aspect.
I know.
It's awesome.
It's amazing.
It's about 18.
Derp Turtle for the win.
Derp Turtle for the win. 8 shoots, and it's knocking down things when it hits them. That's just.
It is
wonderful.
It had its time at the bottom of the pile.
I feel there's some kind of an upkeep on the Animantarax. I'm not sure what it is, but just doesn't have so many upkeeps, so I'm gonna go for Ignite.
Yes, I'm imagining an Ignite. You'll probably see Ignite somewhere. There'll be Rapport as well. That might be what's on the Rhinodon. I can see a token next to the Rhinodon.
It could be the +2 armor on the Rhinodon. Maybe it's the actually I think it's the token from the Krea that's been pushed a little bit. Thank you, streamers. Can you someone say hey to Martin from me? Martin is currently playing with the Polish team, and so we messed up his whole stream in the beginning. And now we're gonna have to ask him to come back during lunch break to fix the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's fine, we found a way to make it work, so if it's working for everybody, it's pretty cool.
Yes, so we got Ignite and Rapport out there.
Oh, Rapport.
So I think Rapport is on the Rhinodon.
Could be.
That would make sense.
So there's something on the Hydra though. But I don't think...
I think that's his Animus.
I would have put... Usually, I don't know, I'd like to put Rapport on the Archidon here, because it gives the Archidon so much, place to go. He has double extended control 2 times.
True.
So he has like a, 40? Am I saying this? I think it is. It works this way.
Basically, yes, so it doubles and then doubles again, yeah. So it goes extreme amounts.
And then the Archidon it starts to get like mat 8, if I'm not mistaken, so that's just cool.
True. I think, I can't see the token on it. I think what he's got there is you've obviously got Thresher on the Rhinodon, and it's only mat 6. So at that point, you're talking 7s to hit against the Cav, and I think the Stormblade Infantry are actually...
That would be a good plan, to put...
So going to mat 8 means that, so basically at that point, especially considering the majority of the infantry are in the middle, you've got mat 8, Thresher attack, plus the other attacks to go into them as well. So it's moved over now to Cygnar player, to Zeren. It looks like he starts,
Am I in trouble?
Can I get into the zone without 3 big bases and many heavies coming over and making my day a very bad day?
What is the battle group for the Cygnar player? I see there's at least 1 heavy. I'm not sure about the 2 others.
It's a Centurion. Hang on, let me just bring up the list again. Okay, so it's a Centurion, an Ironclad, and a Squire, and then he has a Firefly on a Journeyman. So
there's 2 heavies.
The problem with the Centurion being that if Xerxis is able to get something to hit hard enough, trampling to it will probably do enough damage. But I suppose at this moment you've kind of got all that threat and damage that's coming from the from Xerxis' entire army, and that's kind of counterbalanced by the fact that Stryker himself can just take any of those bases off.
This is okay. I wouldn't have put all those small models forward, knowing the Hydra is somewhere. But I think it's just putting enough space between them so it doesn't have to take so many sprays.
Yeah.
But 5 sprays, even if it's only range 6, that's still something. So
I think what he might be doing there is just trying to lure him in. He's got to contest. Poor Stormblade's duty today is to go get killed horrifically for the cause. So we'll see. I can imagine that basically he's going to set up the rest of his army in a counter-attack for when he tries to clear off. Just trying to think from the Hydra, because the Hydra could get in and he'd probably easily kill. You've got the 3 there in a nice line leading up to the building with a spray 10. You've got multiples, you could kill probably about 6 of them if he just uses his smaller sprays. But then at that point, the Hydra's in the zone, and it's probably going to be, because we've not seen where the rest of the cavalry and things are, he's going to be in the threat range of most of Stryker's army.
Do you see an Agonizer on Xerxis' side?
There is an Agonizer. I believe it is the model kind of between the Hydra and Xerxis. You can kind of see this like medium base with a bit of grey. Unfortunately, I think it's there. It's next to the 2 red tokens.
Yeah, the Agonizer is a small base though, so I'm not. Or is there a Drake and a Krea? Do we have
the
Agonizer actually?
Medium base, isn't it?
No, it's a small base. It's a very, very small thing that has been tortured for years and years.
Let me have a look then. Indeed, then. So where would that be hiding?
I don't know if you have one. Can
Oh,
you?
he does. He does have an Agonizer. I'm pretty sure.
Well, it looks like an Imperial host list anyway, so Imperial Warhost even. So yeah, he might actually got those for free. So where we might have 2 Kreas. But I would put an Agonizer for sure in this list.
Yes, he does have an Agonizer and 2 free Basilisk Krea. So in that case, it's probably that must be the second Krea.
Maybe it's just
No, actually, you know that might be it. It's just it looks like it's got a large base. Yes, actually, it will be because there's a medium base next to it, which is bigger. It's just the perspective of what we're looking at. Yeah, so I think that's the Agonizer where we thought it was, and then you've got the second Krea next to the wall below it, and then the other Krea above it. So basically everything bar the uppermost beasts are all in the Krea bubbles, or able to be in the Krea bubbles. Not that I don't think he's even used it, to be fair. There's not much shooting coming that way. So we currently have the Storm Lancers going up at the top. So what it was mentioned there is just keeping out of the Archidon's threat, but they can easily start claiming that zone if nothing comes in, and then he is definitely in threat range. Next turn. We have the other unit of Stormblades, look like they're starting to run into the bottom
putting
zone.
them nicely to make sure like they're not all going to die from one, Hydra activation, which is nice because the thing here is that actually, you know what, the Animantarax is actually a cavalry, right? So he can impact attacks, if I'm not mistaken. But if he does that, we're going to lose the Animantarax right away to all the cavalry behind.
Yep. So that's kind of the ploy. He's got a buffer of those Stormblades, which, yes, they're shooting
Have you seen ever a unit of Stormblade charging and doing damages? They always tend to die right before.
I have, but this was at a point when I was Kador with just no guns.
Okay.
So it kind of got to that point where, well, they were going to live. Some of them did get in. That ability that if the Storm Gunner hits, then everything automatically hits afterwards could be very good. But yeah, so we got both Stormblade units there. It looks like we got the that would be the Centurion.
The tank.
The tank is ran.
Does he have
So-
an Arcane Shield somewhere? Isn't that
That I believe, yes. So the Centurion has Arcane Shield on him. Being that he ran, I'm pretty sure he can't do his no charge ability now. So I think he was just checking the threat. Checking the threat there to make sure he wasn't in charge range.
Can we quickly get the Stryker2 spell list? Because I'm pretty sure I'm missing something.
He's got positive charge, which is the main one.
Is there he has deceleration. Is that going to be useful?
That will so deceleration is against it's +1 against ranged attacks. That's all those sprays. That is
The thing with those sprays is that they put corrosion up, so is it worth it to spend free focus?
the Animantarax that has its gun, which
That's
is pretty
yeah, I
good.
think this one is-
I mean, it'd be one of those where if he is just expecting everything to die, then yeah, maybe he'll camp that focus. But if he's looking to spend it anyway, and there's not much, there's not much else to do with it, then yeah, it might save a few guys. Although he is very, very spread. So whether anything will actually be in it, it looks like he'd only really protect. If that is the Stryker model, which I think it is, with sort of just below the second half there, that would only actually protect sort of the Stormblades themselves, maybe a couple of those Storm and Lances at the bottom. So that was a very quick turn there. So we're on turn 2.
Absolutely, I need to change those things here.
Cool. So on to turn 2 now. He's just sorting out all of his fury. No threshold checks at this turn. Maybe if we saw Trev on the American stream, we'd have some first turn fury problems with Skorne, but no, it looks like Dimitri is fine.
Sorry?
It used to be a common thing Trev used to say on Chain Attack, that no matter what he did, he always ended up miscalculating the fury with his Skorne. So we've not had that problem. Dimitri is obviously aware of what he needs to do.
Well, in Mark 2 it was pretty easy just to be a bit off and just activate your Pistolers in the end and be like, okay, I'm just removing all those tokens, I'm done, there's not going to be any fury issue. And now Skorne players actually have 2 counts. I'm a Skorne player, I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, I'm going to be able to remove 1 now. Oops.
Fair enough. So, difficult decision now for...
the Centurion can pop thing run.
So they did change that. Well, he doesn't look like he was actually in threat anyway.
Yeah, it's an imprint. So, but maybe I don't know. I'm looking at if Strike. Oh no, it's not working like this. Yeah, velocity only works for the caster. Because I was thinking maybe he could, spend some of those to make the Centurion go faster.
No,
it's only
just
for the Warcaster.
that's his coming to get you. So I kind of think that this would be the cook's turn for the Skorne player. I mean, I know it's only turn 2, but I think what he manages to do here and how much he manages to remove with the guns, how much he manages to... Okay, yeah, so it looks like...
He must have put deceleration on.
Yeah, so it looks like he's just got the 1 in. Deceleration isn't model unit, is it? Nope. It is just model, I believe.
Models.
Models, yeah. So we think... Just the way that they were moving the tape measure there is that it's only the top Lancer that's actually in range, so you could see him trying to focus fire because it goes to power 15, and I can't see. It looks like Arcane Shield went on the
Something.
Storm. I was sure it went on the.
I don't know. There's this.
We can see an Arcane Shield somewhere. Possibly, actually, it might be on the Stormblades, those central Stormblades. So at that point, as a Skorne player,
there's a charge.
Yep, it's got
And
dual
those are
attack,
impact
so
attacks?
he can charge, kill both of those with his
Impact
melee
attacks,
attacks.
I guess. Bottom one. It's going to blur, so we're not going to be able to see what it is.
I think the camera is trying to focus in on his hair.
It should be fine.
Okay, so that's his melee attacks, and now he's shooting.
Wait, was it? I think if it's an impact attack, you can still continue to move forward, or...
No, they changed that with the rules. Right, so he's got D3, plus 1 shot. Unfortunately, that fell under, so we couldn't see it. So he's shooting the ones that are further away. I apologise for the blur in the camera. What's happening is I think he's trying to focus in on his hair when he leans in on the table. It is beautiful hair, so I mean I can understand.
It's 5 and 9, so it should hit for sure.
Yeah. No rage tokens though yet.
No, but you can't use rage tokens to boost the range damage rolls. You can't do it anymore. So it's a 3 and a Belgium. So
okay, so he's not killed it. I think he's dropped it down to 1. That's probably a hit.
And that should be enough.
There you go. So that's 1 Stormland's gone.
And reposition, because the Animantarax has this. There's so many rules that this thing has. It's awesome. It's like, you want to take a War Beast, and you're like, why am I taking a War Beast? This guy can boost and buy, buy and boost, and he has reposition, and he can shoot, and he can knock you down, and he has, you know, this big initial, this other big initial, and then those 2 spears that he can actually now use before moving.
Yep. There is, I'm pretty sure I've seen, there are lists out there which have 2 of them, and I can totally understand why. Because the other side to it as well is that they don't tax your caster, which is very important. Like we were just talking about the Fury before. You know, Xerxis only being Fury 5. If you go hell, sort of, you know, throw all your beasts out far away, they can't therefore get the Fury removed from them, and they've all got 4 Fury on each. Yeah, there's a turn where you're going to lose your beasts, whereas the Animantarax, you can go do all this stuff, and you don't have to worry about reaving in that Fury after.
Yeah, you're charging, you knock the target down, your position away, you have your unit of Mental Reavers start shooting the target down, and then you just kill anything you want, basically.
Yep. So, looking at that, what do we think? Is that going to be...
We'll give 2 for the record.
Yeah, they do. Unfortunately, it looks like it only killed 1. I'm not sure whether that was sort of bad dice or... just trying to think, actually, defense 13 on the Lancers still.
That's good.
It's actually taking the 1's probably about right, I'd imagine. Depends on how, we didn't see how many shots he got.
We had 2. We didn't see how many shots, but he shot 2 of those.
We definitely saw the 2 and the 2 damage rolls. So whether he had 1 before that, so it could have been 2 or 3 shots. So yeah, one Lancer going down is great. The only question then at that point is he has the Centurion. Maybe not in charge range, but definitely in run range.
I think this is what he was looking at, right? When he was measuring this thing with the templates and everything, just to make sure he wasn't Centurion. I think the only thing he's really afraid for this Hydra is to get this big jack in his face. I don't think he's going to be able to kill it right away, although with positive charge, who knows?
Positive charge, because basically with each of these jacks now,
feed afterwards,
it's going to be a bubble attack.
Yeah,
like they've all got, the Firefly has reach, I believe, and the Centurion has reach. So it's only the Ironclad, which is kind of more of just a cheap beat stick. So they were all great positive charge targets, just to, even if all the Centurion does is imprint and run and get into melee, then it's great defensive piece for the scenario zone, and then everything else of the Lancers are then power 18 on the charges. Which, that'll definitely... it's crazy that, isn't it? Like the amount of stuff now that just hits like a Warjack and War Beast, but isn't.
It's not,
So...
and so we have Tyrant. I think he's putting the proxy base to see if Tyrant could go and do some things by himself. Which I don't think Tyrant is going to be in a position when he's going to take so much damage afterwards. So
I think that's the Rhinodon.
You think so?
I don't think he's got Tyrant in the list, to be fair. Is that?
I think this is the Agonizer.
It's the Gladiator. That is the Dash's Gladiator. So it'd be the Extreme Gladiator. That might be why we're getting it confused. Yeah. We can't see it from here. I can. I can just looking through. It is in fact the Extreme Gladiator.
Yeah, it's because we don't see the weapon.
Hilariously, it is as tall as the Archidon's wings, or as tall as the Archidon with its wings up, and then it has the flag on top, just to really rub it in.
So I got one of those, the Extreme Gladiator, and what I usually do is that I put it on the table at the beginning, I put it in deployment zone, and I look at my opponent and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to swap it to something else because I'm not going to be able to play it. It's just too big, and I'm going to make, I'm going to just move models around him. It's going to be complicated to push, and I have like, as one of my very first model actually, and it's the paint is basically completely worn off, and you have, it's ugly and shit. But that I put the Extreme Gladiator up, and I says, look, I have this model, and then replace it with something that is a Gladiator but has lost pieces and everything. And I'm like, this is the one I'm going to use now because it's more easy.
Okay, so we've just got Falling Angel. Is that just the one table? My other mates are on the rest of the team. If not, can we get a brief update on the other tables?
Maybe we can ask Simon to get. We have one of the judge here. If we call judge, do you think he's going to come to us?
Possibly. I mean, I can go and have a bit of a...
You want to go? Okay,
I will go be the roving reporter and give you an update on how it's going.
Good luck,
elsewhere.
sir.
I will return.
Thank you. Yeah, so at the beginning of the stream we also placed kind of not bets, but we had with Chris decided, okay, who's going to be your favorite casters? The caster thing is going to win for every table. And I don't think any games have ended yet anywhere, so things seems to be still going on. And we started recording 45 minutes ago, so nobody did any big mistakes. That's pretty cool. We have what I think is a Paingiver Beastenders coming in. The other thing that I see here is that Xerxis2 is probably, it cannot move so much. It's a huge base behind another huge base. There's a couple of models in front of him. He has, a lot of movement and everything, of course, but I don't think he's going to be able to do anything this turn aside from just saying, hey, here, I'm casting a spell. Might be string a hole, might be changing report, putting in another model, I don't know.
So he's going to try and hit your boss, needing a 7. I think I'm going to bust it. How are you coming?
I'm also wondering what the Skorne player is thinking. Because it feels, of course, the Archidon might be able to get the toe-up Stormlands, but it's obviously a trap, and I don't know if it's going to be really useful. But those cavalry on the top, so they can just start, do their thing next turn, and probably start, go to another to those war beasts. Yeah, something has been moved.
You wish you never run past our reckoner. Hey!
So I think, yeah, Agonizer coming in, and now Xerxis cannot really move, he has models all around him. Slightly moving back. Oh, hello. So, how things are going?
Okay, so I got a bit of a update. So on the Haley 3 table, there is a huge cloud wall across the middle of the table. The main things to pick out there, because unfortunately they've not quite engaged each other. So the last I saw was there was a big lightning cloud coming in on one flank from the Waldrath. So basically where it ended, he was just using some of the side models to try and pick it off. He was up 15 minutes though. The Haley player was on about 30 minutes. The Kruger player was on 15. So I think that one actually, if he's not managing to break the wall, if Kruger can live, and there's so much tough stuff in that list. Like the Wrath itself, I can't see sort of an easy way. If he manages to take out Ragman, that kind of thing. You know, I can't see an easy way of killing him. Yeah. That's going to prevent 2 zones. He's got the battle engine in the other zone. So that one might come down to clock, actually. Which is a bit weird.
Because setting up this cloud wall is actually very time consuming.
Especially with the new 2 template, you have to kind of like hopscotch the templates as you go. I know on the England Lions player, we were having to tell one of the players, because he's obviously just playing how he used to, dead easy, sets it out, move in, come back. Whereas now you have to kind of move one guy, place where you think the next one's going to go. He goes in, you pick the first one up, you keep doing this, and then once they're all taken up, you place them all down on everyone. It's a very, I mean, again, time consuming, so you can see why. If you are looking to play Halo 3, that is going to definitely be something to focus on. To get there. On the other table, so we've got Tyrant, who's being very aggressive into the Wormwood. He is, I think he must have just like charged forward into a trench at the start, which, to be fair, that makes him pretty difficult to deal with, especially, I'm pretty sure there was a list healer in that list, so you're not going to be able to knock him down, and then he's in the trench. So there's not going to be much in the way of spells being thrown at him.
Well,
not reliably.
The thing is, with Hellmouth, you can just put a stone on top, in front. Hellmouth the stone, get Tyrant out of the trench, and then get somebody to actually, get at Tyrant. And I've seen this happen so many times when you just primal whatever wolf you got, and you're like, okay, I got your stuff out of your, protective place. I got my stuff up forward. Now I'm gonna charge you, and it's gonna end bad for you.
Yeah.
The thing with Tyrant is like every time you miss, you get a weapon master strike in the face. Yes. So there's that to take into consideration.
True. I don't think though that, because if normally that would be a pain, because obviously you can't knock him down with the less healer, so therefore he's always going to be there. But if Wormwood's able to pull him out of the bubble, knock him down, turn him around, all these kind of weird stuff. I don't think he'd turn him around, but you know what I mean. Just knock him down and get it done. I think that would be a sad time for Tyrant. So we'll see. We predicted that both of us predicted the Wormwood win on that one. So we'll see. The interesting part of this one, actually, though, there are the minion snipers. What they call? Efrit Scouts.
Yeah, I was about to say Eldrazi, that's not the same name.
So there's the Efrit Scouts and the 2 sniper teams on a hill, and both fighting each other either side. So there's like a sniper off happening on one side of the board. It's a bit strange. But that one again, I think I got there just as all the fire and stuff was about to sort of advance into Wormwood. So I didn't see the feat was up, so I don't know what had happened there. I couldn't see a feat token next to Wormwood. So we will be able to go up, but whether the Wormwood player was waiting for another turn, so she could just kill what was in threat, feet
and be like,
and then
safe.
Okay, be safe-ish for another turn. So we'll see how that develops.
Wait, we just missed something. The Hydra actually charged within the Centurion. And if the Hydra has Ignite on it, it means with the Paingiver Bystanders, it's probably up to power 22-ish, which I'm going to check right now.
Okay.
And it should be able to, it has 5 attacks, base normal attacks, and then it can start buying 4 more. So usually that's it. That just, it could kill anything.
Right, so that's an aspect gone if they are aspect tokens. Not an aspect, location maybe. A system. Unfortunately, his iPad is just off the screen, so we can't see.
It's going to be part 22. Like if it has Ignite plus the Enrage, it's part 22. The Centurion has Arcane Shield, it's probably armor 24, so it's only -2. It charged for free, and it has 9 initials. 9 attacks total. So if for -2, it's 45 damage. It kills it.
Wow, it should do. It should do. Well, dice can happen.
The thing is, I'm not sure. That's basically the situation where you activate Stryker afterwards. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna overload.
That looks like it was a good dice roll.
I'm gonna destroy you, and that's it.
See how it goes. How do so? So this actually might be a clutch move, because if he takes out the Centurion, not only does that lower the amount of damage that can come back to him, it removes a positive charge target.
But would you trade the Hydra for a Centurion?
It depends. There's only 4. So there's 4 Lancers. possibly
Laddermore,
those blades.
Stryker.
Laddermore and Stryker, yeah.
Because what I would do, but I would activate Stryker first, or maybe just just charge with the cab and then reposition in a way that if the Animantarax want to get a Stryker, I'm going to be able to be slightly, Oh wait, there's a feed token. Is that a feed token in Xerxis2?
It looks like it.
So it means that basically, so the Hydra will be in common range, in control range, and this is why it's probably, it's throwing 3 dice every time. So it's, for me, for sure, 4. It's not a lot, but for me, it's going to be a dead Centurion. I don't see.
I can imagine that being a dense Centurion. Yes,
that's the Syria feat.
I've been told not to talk about dice math. I'm not allowed to on the on the stream. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's a long story, but no dice math for me today. I won't make you all fall asleep.
Look, we can kind of see the.
Yeah, that looks pretty much.
I must have like 2 boxes left or something. The boxes we can't see. That's 8 damage. That's a hit, and then we remove something. And it's just done, and that's it. And so now the question is,
was that worth it?
I don't know. We haven't seen the Spawn player do it, but it might have just done a charge attack.
Yep.
Maybe did a couple of sprays to remove all those things around it, and then just focus all those remaining attacks, about 22 attacks, into their Centurion, thinking that thanks to Xerxis feat, it would have been enough to just remove Centurion. Because once you start buying attacks, you cannot buy sprays. So that's a thing.
I think maybe.
But it's left on 1 Fury though. It means like it must have been very, very close.
Yeah, I think maybe because like we said, the things now that can go on that Hydra, 1 unit of Lancers isn't going to do it. Depends if that Ironclad's in threat. I don't think it will be. It looks a bit of a distance. So that might be in positive charge range. That'll be the only use that it would provide. So that's no attacks from the Ironclad, maybe a shot from the Firefly. So basically we're talking 4 Lancers and Stryker into the Hydra. Now, obviously Stryker going Super Saiyan can kill it, but that's Stryker now exposed. And depending on how many...
after the feed is gone, and if you can make sure the Animantarax cannot get into Stryker, I'm not sure there's going to be a threat that's going to be able to get Stryker if he wants to get there. But you have to manage the Animantarax, which is the big thing, because if the Animantarax is Stryker, game over.
Yeah.
Although, if the Animantarax cannot get Stryker, knock him down but cannot kill him, I don't see a lot of threats that would be able to just remove Stryker.
Stranglehold?
That's, true, it's power 11.
And if he's knocked down, Stryker,
it's
he's
fine.
got Stranglehold.
You can be Fury 5 and still cast spells as
Exactly. At that point, you might think, if I Stranglehold him, he's got to spend to stand up anyway, and he still has to forfeit.
Actually, if he has overloaded,
he'd have to overload if he was thinking of taking
so
down
it's
the Hydra.
not going to be able to. It's going to be. But the thing is, like the Hydra is pretty. I'm not going to say weak, but it's on 119. It doesn't have so many boxes, so
comes down to how high he rolls.
Yeah.
If he rolls really high and it takes a couple, and he can just camp a bunch of focus, then he'll be fine.
The Archidon, Archidon actually went up, killed one of the Stormblades, sprint, and put it back behind the obstruction, which is a very good move here because basically it means that it's probably going to get 1 stamina. I'm not sure, depending on the angle, and I'm sure actually if the top Stormblade is going to be able to have a line of sight on the Archidon, but if not, it means the Archidon is pretty safe. And also the Archidon is immune to electricity.
I don't think he can get line of sight.
That's a pretty cool play then, because the Archidon is also immune to electricity, so nothing, like they're not going to be any electro leaps or anything that's going to hurt him. Oh, that was the Gladiator that was charging there.
So the Gladiator charges in. See, my only concern with this is the Gladiator is obviously an important piece. It's got rush.
But
that's not on Xerxis. I mean, from a Skorne player's perspective, I always have that kind of scared thing.
Yeah, the thing is, like, once you're in the middle here in the zones, you don't really need, here, thanks to mobility and rush, will be, you got the alpha here, right?
Yep.
It said, this is okay, this is the man that I want to kill, this is the man I want to kill. I'm going to put enough speed in my army to be able to just stick them, and this is what I want to be. Okay, so I'm fine now. Do I need rush afterwards, since I already have mobility? So basically, of your heavies are speed 6 base, and 7 with the Hydra, and Rhinodon is 7 as well. 7 for a heavy is, it's decent. you don't really need more. I mean, it would be one of the fastest heavies. So
I'm just thinking it's more the Zaadesh. Like Zaadesh just scares me. Anything put on a light on a journeyman, just the fact that you can get the journeyman and take out the beast.
I mean, sorry, the
is it Zaadesh? Am I getting the name wrong?
Zaadesh is the
Zaadesh, Tyrant Zaadesh. So the Gladiator's on Tyrant Zaadesh.
Oh, I haven't seen Zaadesh somewhere. Okay, so wait.
So that's always my concern. Like, you're taking Rush off Xerxis straight away, so you can only therefore get that from Zaadesh or the Gladiator. And also, not in this list, obviously, but against other lists, just having that, the ability to take him out and just remove the Gladiator straight away, that always concerns me.
The thing is, Zaadesh is one, if I remember well, that's Sacrificial Pawn, Warbeast. Let me just check on that. So,
is that just his, or?
I think it could be in general. Yes. Sackpawn, Warbeast, I know, in his battle group, so true.
So I suppose it helps him survive early, but if there's something, for example, if he was dropped into that Wormwood, and that was, maybe this wouldn't be that list, because the ability to just take out Zaadesh with the magic, get around Sackpawn.
He has 4 transfers, and if there is nothing that can go against the Gladiator that could kill the Gladiator is one Fury right now. It's just charge or just boost attack, I don't know, but it just kill the target, and it's pretty fine. So if you want to kill Zaadesh, it's different. Okay, it's only 13-15, but he probably has 2 transfers. I guess he may have rushed the Hydra, because this is what usually, this is what Zaadesh is for here, is to be a rush bot.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay, it's a very aggressive play there from Xerxis. From the Xerxis side, he's basically sent everything centrally.
The thing is, like, with putting so many models with so many boxes and armor into the zone here. It's for the single player. Now the question is, okay, I'm gonna be able to take out some of those models, but not all of them. So which one am I gonna take out? I would go for the Hydra because it's a big thing. But actually now the feed has passed and everything. Is the rest of the war beast gonna be a huge threat? Probably though.
I think.
No, all those.
Just think that so you've got
soldiers.
One unit of 4 lances. You've got potentially a rapport Rhinodon, which is a threat to a caster.
Oh, things are gonna frenzy, I think, next turn.
True. You've got the Gladiator right up there. You've got the Archidon right up there. I don't think you've got the punching power, even with feet, to take down everything. So what would you focus on? I mean, is it just pile everything into the?
I would go for the I would go for the Hydra and go on the the bottom zone here.
Yeah.
Try to get safe from the Animantarax in one way or another, and make sure that my casters survive another day, and then I could just start winning points on the bottom zone.
Yep.
And fight in the middle. But actually, is the Skorne player going to start scoring in the middle zone? We'll see. Oh, there's still a model here.
There's one guy there.
There's one guy there.
And he's not got anything. No. So it will still be no points scored. But as we said, it's one of those where again he's forced to put models in the zone, or otherwise he is going to start scoring. So it's definitely that next turn is definitely going to be interesting for the
That's
Cygnar
it
player.
for the Skorne player. So I guess we're on turn 3 now. If I'm not mistaken. So did we discuss the last table?
The last table. We stopped Butcher, and we had 2 tables to discuss. So at that time, it's Butcher, Jack theme, Jaws of the Wolf, into the Helena Old Jacks. There was lots of shots being thrown around, but it was only bits of damage I could see on the damage markings for the Cador Jacks. And Butcher was pretty much flying up the table. So I mean, I can't imagine Helena being able to trade and win the Jack battle, especially being that Butcher can just swing that himself. So I would probably imagine the way we're going to see that going for the Helena battle, the Helena player, if it does go that way, is that he just manages to. The Butcher player gets overconfident, maybe has a bad turn, and doesn't kill enough of the Jacks, and then gets killed in return.
Or just butchers all the Jacks.
Oh, yeah, so I mean, imagine the way it's going to go is Butcher is just going to butcher everything.
Because the shooting from the Siren Jacks is probably not. It's gonna dent.
It was doing some damage.
But I don't see it like It's gonna have to be extreme focusing to actually take one down, and
there was too many Jacks for his what's it called? The spell that gives science and pointless damage, something destruction that Helena has. It's her signature spell, so she can put that on one Jack, which is fine, and then they can try and focus down. But then there's the other Jacks in the list. You've got Behemoth basically hurling all the bombards back as well. Ruins there, so
and Nina can have his War Jacks do a bit of the hit and run, but at some point if you move away, the Katherine Jacks would just be in the zones and be happy to be in the zones and start scoring and everything.
So I mean that was it. Basically, the Butcher player was just into the zones, and then when I watched the Helena player was throwing some shots in, I kind of feel like you're giving that momentum then to the Butcher player, who can then actually push past the zones. And if he's pushed past the zones,
that's it.
It's going to be a fight outside of the zones on the wrong side of the table for the Helena player.
Butcher can just keep two, heavies in front of him just in case, and then have all of his Jacks do stuff, and he's going to score every turn, and that's it.
And Ruin's going to be an absolute pain to kill in that matchup because she can't use the spell on it.
She can't force strike him. She can't set up destruction him. She can't. A lot of things she cannot do.
Hand of Destruction, that's the one.
Yeah. So the only thing I expect is that I guess Helena's player is probably going to wait for the engagement to come, and feed just before, and try to see how she can survive.
Okay, the last table as well, so I'll just move on to the last table. It's Ostrom. It was Ostrom, all the bunnies, with Ayana and Holt and Oren and things like that, so the support solos. It looked like all the bunnies were making a hard right flank. There was majority was on the hard right, opposite Animantarax and the Mammoth. And I can basically see that there was two drillers. There was no way he's getting to the drillers because he can't move he can't push the bunnies around. So I would imagine that game is going to go Ostrom's way. When he has to come in to try and do some damage. He might kill a few bunnies, maybe not on feet because they do go quite high on feet. And then in return, the drillers are just going to murder them. The Reavers, there was a big amount of Reavers on the left-hand side, but I'm pretty sure there was a couple of bunnies and a driller on that side as well, which he can just walk into the zones, and then the Reavers aren't going to get rid of.
The Reavers, I mean, they're you can get a couple of shots with a high bow and probably do a bit of damage, but there's not boosted damage. So at no point, there's not going to be any big spikes here or something that's going to be able to remove 3-4 points every shot or something. So. It's going to take 2-3 turns to maybe destroy enough bunnies to make it relevant, and I guess the bunnies will destroy more Reavers before and just not remove the threat entirely.
Right, so someone did ask, are we making a call as to who we think is going to win? We made our predictions at the start. Actually, we've not said who we think is going to win on this table.
Well, no, I'm going to say the Skorne player.
You're going to say the Skorne
no,
player?
I'm going to have... I kind of thought the Cygnar player would win, but looking at how things are right now, I don't think... I didn't think the Skorne player would go for the Centurion right away, rush, mobility, the Hydra, and just getting there. But now there is so many, high models with so many 8 points, and the Agonizer is just behind the Gladiator. I think we can see it kind of. So the Gladiator is actually ammo 21, the Rhinodon is ammo 20. If he has its Animus up, it's going to be ammo 22. The Rhinodon is 14. It's probably going to be 14-18 here, and if the Stormlancers want to get charge lane, they're probably going to be 16 because of the obstruction in a way, I guess. It's going to be complicated for me. Really, the option for the Cygnar player is to try to find a way to get rid of the Hydra.
Yes.
But the Hydra is a big model, and you might decide on the plan that if you're a player and you look at this model and you decide, oh shit, my Centurion is gone, I don't have any kind of big hitting power. I'm not sure that plan is actually even going to work. Things are going to frenzy on the next turn for sure. We have the Hydra is basically loaded. there's a war beast behind the Hydra that is loaded as well. The Rhinodon is loaded, the Archidon is loaded. We have an Agonizer who is loaded as well, I think.
Yep.
Maybe my eyes are playing the tricks on me.
Looks like it's got 2. So you got your Agonizer here with 2. So that's in the bottom zone.
There's something.
Yeah, that looks to be a good 9 focus out there.
The Agonizer is there. The Hydra is almost 21. I'm not exactly sure.
Fury.
I'm able to get it.
Yeah, so it looks like there's 10 Fury out there on the beasts. Or on the Xerxis.
One is from the Gladiator. So
one is from the Gladiator, but so there's one for the Gladiator and then 10 others across the other beasts. So yeah, that's going to be difficult.
You don't even have a choice. I mean, you can't really expect not to touch any of those beasts and be like, oh, it's going to frenzy, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Because of course the display is going to be like, oh, so you haven't touched the Hydra, which is the thing that I need to use this turn. So I'm going to obviously pull the Fury from
off
the Hydra.
The important bits.
Yeah, let whoever frenzy the Archidon or something, it's not really a problem. And be like, I'm good. I have the Hydra is fully functional. The other thing with the Hydra is like every time it eats something, it gets life back.
Yeah.
And cavalry is very yummy.
So
Horses.
based on that, so you're thinking Skorne now?
I'm thinking Skorne right now is a commanding position.
Yes. Well, based on that, I think our predictions is going to be a Russia win. Just through the matchups process when we were picking them at the start, we had 4 Russian. We had a split choice, and then we had 3 Russia, which we agreed, which was the Wormwood, Butcher, and Ostrom Games. And then there was a split between us. I thought Kruger would win, you were going for 83. And then on this one, we didn't predict, but I'm going to say Cygnar.
Just for
Stryker might just like gel his hair up and just go crazy and save the day.
Well, if he overloads in 3 die.
Yeah, but I think just based on that, if obviously just the other games that we think how they'll go, Russia will take this 3-2. I actually think probably it's going to be 4-1. Yeah. But we'll wait and see. It might even be a 5-0, depending on the clock on that Haley 2, on Haley 3.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the player realized that there is 15 minutes difference, and so they're gonna play the clock. Yeah. Is it is it a gentleman's strategy to make sure that your opponent clocks himself?
Yes, obviously.
I don't know, but it is if it makes you win.
I mean,
it makes you win.
It's one of those where against certain lists. So this is something I've seen with Ghost Fleet. Haley 3 is an important one. They're just inherently powerful. If they're given infinite time to just rethink every circumstance and to go through every option that's available to them, they'll probably win most of the games because they have the tools to do that. But the clock is there to make it. That's kind of the power level reducer for them. So you'll probably say if you play against someone with Haley 3, always use a clock. Because that is one of the things that they must be factoring into a design. Because otherwise, she's just got so much like flexibility.
Yeah.
The echo.
She can just recast echoes every turn. She can just echoes can revive things every turn. Yeah. And it's a long grind, and every one of those models has actually like enough impact to actually change the game at some point. For the echoes, even if you revive a Stormblade or anything like this, it's just like boom, it's going to charge at you right away afterwards. I mean, 1 turn afterwards, obviously, because you can't charge right away. But it's about 16 in charge. It's going to put it in somewhere.
What's going on here then? So we've got.
So
is that captain?
So I think right now what he's trying to do is charging the Agonizer. He's trying to remove the Agonizer, which is actually a good move because you can remove Agonizer pretty easily. If the Agonizer goes down, it means the Hydra is down to almost 19, and it's pretty much going to
do the damage. You just put the damage on now. Good damage roll. It's about 2/3 of its boxes, 4 left.
It has 4 boxes left for the Agonizer. Whatever's going to kill it, it's almost nothing. So. I'm not sure.
Did he live? Did he only get 2 attacks on him? No.
I think he's supposed to die. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Agonizer died. So that's a good swing. We're probably going to see Stryker's feet as well this turn.
Yeah, because I think next turn is not going to be enough Signal models left on the battlefield to have this feat being useful in any way, shape, or form. So,
and that also works a lot better Yes, indeed. We've got Andy there.
Somebody
saying,
agrees
yeah.
with us. So since the stream, the chat is always right. It means we're doing a good job at commentating.
Exactly.
I'm
The chat is always
pretty happy
correct.
with myself.
So he's obviously expecting to lose some. It's just the flexibility there is that he expects for, at minimum, at worst, at the best scenario is that a couple of his beasts frenzy and hits each other. They live, but he gets to pick which ones get to activate. So it's not just that kind of, Zeren can't just go, fine, as you said, can't just not attack them, because then he just picks the correct place to remove the Fury and then punishes him for it. So he has to play as though everyone is going to be able to be activated and go from there.
So there's a Firefly.
So the Firefly
going to
be a positive
for the
charge.
Firefly. I guess to maximize the damage on the charge that's going to happen afterwards. Yes, he's trying to get both the Rhinodon
Positive charge 3 these days, or 2?
and the Hydra.
I'm pretty sure it was 2, but I will just check, because 3 would make a big difference.
It's probably 2, yeah.
It's strange you never see these things in Cygnar anymore, so we're actually having to look them up, because when was the last time we saw Stryker2?
Before the team list. Before the tier list.
Exactly.
Before the thing that said, I can play all Jack and have all those free solos, repositioning and do all the things.
Oh no, it is 3 inches, so while within 3 inches of the Jack, so that means that he can put the Firefly there, get within 3.
Might be okay. So you put so the other base probably for the maybe one of the Jack afterwards. Yeah, I guess so.
There you go. Right, so he's got 3 inches for where the Ironclad's going to go. That would then allow him to be a bubble of 3 inches to the probably Stormlance, at least 1 Stormlance, I would imagine, probably even 2. So he's measuring the other side to see where that positive charge bubble can go to. He's took out the Agonizer as well, so that's a 4 damage swing. So he's doing everything that he can. It's going right so far.
And now it's just about, is he going to have enough power to just remove the Hydra in one turn? Because if not, the Hydra is just going to regenerate itself and it's just going to snack everything.
So the Ironclad is going in on the Rhinodon. So that'll be the Rhinodon done. And that will probably trade the Ironclad for the Gladiator. If the Rhinodon goes down. So really it comes down to 4 Stormlances. And Stryker.
Laddermore, probably Stryker. Is it a Storm Captain in the middle? Those are Weapon Masters, right? So
yes, they are Weapon Masters as well. So it's how much focus and damage does Stryker do to himself when he goes in on the Hydra? Or can everything else kill the Hydra first? If he goes in and kills it without Stryker, I think that's a very big swing, because then he doesn't have to expose Stryker to any sort of long shot assassinations. He can just walk him onto a hill or something like that, just to make him safe and protect him. If he has to go in, then we've got that Animantarax that can get in there. Knockdown is not great. Xerxis, not the best not the best magic slinger, but against a knockdown target that's already damaged.
Charges coming in. Okay, so it wasn't Storm Captain, it was a unit of Storm Soldiers. I never remember the
Stormblades.
Stormblades, because I know there's another Storm Bike.
Storm down. It's Stormblade, Storm Lances on the horses, and then Storm Guard. Yes, Storm Guard with the
Storm
halberds.
Soldiers.
Yeah, and then there's Silverline Storm Guard are the ones that
and
can't be
the
charged that we never see. God knows.
It's, I guess.
So, what are your thoughts on the chat then? Do you think we're correct? Is this going to be a Russian win? Do you think 4-1 or 5-0? Do you think we're completely wrong and China is just going to laugh in our face and
there
take
was a
it?
couple of dice being rolled, but I don't see any damage yet.
Okay, damage coming into the Hydra. Positive charge.
Why is it only 2?
It should be 3 dice.
Okay.
Impact attack.
Oh.
Is this Laddermore?
No. Yes. No, Laddermore is behind, so I don't know what it is. But there's already a line gone for the Hydra, and that's just 1 damage. Okay. Must have been an actual leap or something. That's not enough. I see 4. Okay. And then there's this thing here.
This is the shooting from the Firefly. Maybe.
I don't know. No, because it charged something in. I think it's just going to calculate, 6. I'm not sure what's happening. It just rolled for hit or damage right away. Why is there a third one? Is there
Maybe
something we missed?
Rhinodon. Is this?
Yeah, I think he's hitting the Rhinodon, but there's 1, 3. Oh, I think those pretty poor rolls, but I don't know. Oh, this guy. Okay, cool. Maybe we can try to hear what they're saying, because that would be helpful, right?
Yep.
We have this wonderful technology that's been given to us. There's too much noise around. Too much noise around them.
Yep. Can't hear, unfortunately, what's being said, but that looks like some hell of a damage has gone in on the Hydra.
Wait,
this
the
must
Cav
be
hasn't
Stryker.
charged in yet. Oh, it's Stryker?
This must be Stryker.
Oh yeah.
That must be what the dice were at the start to see how much
the
damage.
overload piece.
Yes, how much damage he's done to himself.
So now the thing is.
So it looks like
I see a big stack of focus there. So I'm still not sure. Simon, can we ask you to just check if Stryker already charged the Hydra, or because we're seeing a lot of rolls, but we're not sure on the table one here. Thank you very much.
5 plus 12.
Unless that is Stryker behind the Laddermore.
Someone is looking at the table. He's frowning.
What's attack the Hydra? What's attack the Hydra? There's some big.
We see something attacking the Hydra, something made a huge damage rolls, but we cannot understand what that is.
Oh, they've come to look at the time, it must be like 23 in the level.
Roving reports there, helping out.
Jackie, Firefly, there are Stormblade.
Oh, it's Stormblade.
So it's only the Stormblade that did all those damage. The Stryker is still safe.
Wow.
It's in the back here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so the Hydra might actually go down without Stryker being involved. Can we change that? Can we go back?
I'm glad I put Cygnar down there. That's good. See, this is what I was saying. He did his hair. You know, it looked perfect. How could they go wrong? So yes, that's not good. So the Ironclad, I think the Ironclad with positive charge, and it looks like full focus, is easily going to take down the Rhinodon. We've still got Stryker's feet, so that's going to be extra attacks that go off. So I really do think
not even engage more. You know, Laddermore's really going to get into the Hydra just to make sure or something, but it doesn't even have to. I don't feel it's going to need to engage any more of those storm lances.
No.
Right? Of course, putting it there, it's probably going to fit right on the edge.
So that looks like that must be Stryker if he's measuring it for kill box. It's just checking everything's in control range. So that is Stryker there. Probably going to see feet. Looks like he's the one with Arcane Shield on him. Makes sense.
The thing that could happen here is that one of the Krea actually move forwards, but without the feet, that's complicated. Paralyze Stryker, and then the Animantarax just roll very high on the number of damage rolls and try to finish him this way. But as long as Stryker keeps free focus, I don't think it's going to be a problem.
No. So in goes the Ironclad.
You don't want to be engaged, no?
To hit, no knockdown it looks like.
And I see a 6, I see a 1, and I see something else, I'm not sure. Does the... oh yeah, the plates are on, the Spiny Growth.
Spiny Growth is on.
And it's going to be something damage to column 1.
Yeah, it looks,
At
that's
least
a fresh Ironclad, so I can't imagine that's going to affect him. Unless we get like...
it's probably going to be good for next turn when the Skorne player is going to move forward and be like, I'm going to hit you with 1 less attack than I'm able to put on something else.
Yep.
1 and 5, 6. Oh, he did 1 point of damage and he did 1 back, so...
I thought
Rhinodon
this
might
was going to go better for the Ironclad.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, the Rhinodon is on 120 right now.
Yep. So it's straight dice with positive charge. Oh, there you go. Big dice roll. Last attack, although I'd imagine there'll be there's still one more attack to come from the army, because I did see him check to make sure that he takes it anyway. So instead you're going to get the 3-inch move.
Do you see a feat token?
Don't. Oh, yes, is that the feat token just in front of Stryker?
It's not an upkeep.
He's just picked that up and put it behind. I think that's the feat token.
Because I don't think, yeah.
He can't be an upkeep if he's already got Arcane Shield on himself. So I think that's the feat. He did measure to make sure the Ironclad was in.
Yeah,
but it looks like there'll be no scoring again. It's kind of this is one of those scenarios which just, you know, as long as you're not a gun line, it basically is dead scenario.
Nothing. So wait, the feat of Stryker. Are those models taking their attacks right away, or do they have to wait until
I believe, unless they've changed it, it's all done at the end of the round. Okay. After all activations are finished, everything it activates advances up to 3 inches and then makes one basic melee attack, and you can use focus if you have it on you. Obviously not going to make any effect because the Ironclad spent all of his.
Okay, the Hydra
Stryker is way too far away.
Now, I don't know by what, which... Oh, Laddermore charge, right?
Yep,
okay.
So Laddermore's in. If this Hydra goes down, if these are some pretty high dice, then that means he might actually be able to send the Lancers in on the Animantarax.
I think they're probably a bit too far, but... The Chinese Black Hero is planning to demonstrate
I think
that
he's just,
he's going to hit him with so much strength that he's going to send the Hydra
so they're
to
just
Pluto.
checking how much he needs to roll.
Oh, there's a one, I don't know.
Probably not high enough.
Something, I don't know how many. That's
it's big here, but not enough. See now though, you've got that lance right in front of him. You've got another lance that can go in. Those 2 back lances, or even the furthest lance, can go in the Hydra, and 2 of the lances can now go into the Animantarax. It's not obviously going to kill it, but that just makes it.
It's just going to put something in front of the Animantarax. It's going to say you're not going to be able to kill me with those 2 short spears, and you're going to have to use your main attacks to kill those things, so the Animantarax is not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And so next turn you can send Laddermore, the rest of the Storm Soldiers, into the Animantarax and say, okay, I control the bottom zone now. Thank you very much.
Okay, we've had some asks of what's going on the other tables, so I'm going to go do my roving report a bit. I'll be back in a minute.
Fun. What is our favorite solo in the whole game? I'll wait for Chris to come back so we can talk about that. So, is the question in terms of the sculpt or the rules? Because it's 2 different things. I don't think that there's no way this Hydra is going to survive this. It's probably going to die on the on the charge here, and Zeren is not going to even need to use the feed attacks. So why isn't he getting more offensive with the Animantarax? I don't know. I would put a model in front of it and be like, nope. I'm saying where you can go, and I don't want you to go there. So charge attack connects. And now we're going to start calculating again how much power we're going to put into this Hydra. And that's the assault shot. That's another big roll. There's only 1 box left on the Hydra. And that's the charge attack. Hits. And unless he rolls triple ones, the Hydra is gone. And the Hydra is gone. That's it. So that's big thing for the Cygnar player. While we wait for the camera to focus back in properly. We have this repositioning going on.
This guy is going to go through the acid bar. Do your back. Hits. Palestinian. Side step.
Okay. Chinese player is obviously changing the way the game is going to go because he knows that it's not a problem leaving the top zone by itself. There's not a huge change like anything's going to score in it. Actually, the Skorne player can just run these standards in it right now, but it would mean that all the support for the Skorne player is going to be on top of the zone and not going to be able to support those beasts, which could make sense since all the remaining beasts of the Skorne player is on the top area of the map right now. Hydra is gone.
Hydra is gone.
Yes. So.
And there's no risk. I really think there's no risk to Stryker there. So the feet moves. Is he doing the feet moves now?
Yeah, it's happening right now.
Right. So he just sent one lance in. So it's kind of as we said, but he just went for the block as opposed to just throwing as much damage in.
It's really fine as well. I mean, you only need to block it. You don't need to do anything else with it. I mean, the Animantarax can still probably go around and be able to, move here and be able to hit 2 instead of 1 and try to get a bit more value out of that and then take a shot to another guy and be like, hey, I've done as much damage as I could. But this is the moment where I think really Stryker is going to be like, okay, that's the only threat there. I'm not in a big chance of missing it, and I'm just going to explode it with all my cavalry friends around it. So that's it.
Yeah. And using that feat, that's something I've never actually seen before, to be fair, is when they're using the 3-inch move to be defensive. So he's actually moved the Ironclad back away, so reprisal from the Gladiator will be more difficult. He's using the other models nearby just to jam them in and make it so
yeah.
you have to
if
trample.
the Gladiator wants to go with trample, this is 3 initial, which is a big thing because while the Gladiator is strong, it has 3 initials.
Right, so updates on the other tables. We have the Haley 3. It's kind of weird. It looks like the Circle player has lost the battle engine, so they're kind of starting to crumble on the right-hand side. But there is only a couple of models from Haley on that side, so it's whether it's actually going to start scoring is difficult. But other than that, it's as we expected. Both armies are kind of just taking bits off each other. There's not massive casualties. That's the first big thing I can see that's come off. And the Haley player is currently on 14 minutes, with the Kruger player looked to be about halfway through, and was 10 minutes up. So
there was 15 minutes difference. Now it's only 5, but I don't think it's going to matter in the end.
Yeah. So I do think that unless something happens, it does look that that's going to be a very slow grind, and it's probably going to go to the Kruger player unless something happens, because that Wild Wrath can just stop 2 zones. So at worst, the Kruger player could back off, put the Wild Wrath in, put all the chaff modders. He's still got the mannequins, so we can keep spawning mannequins to contest. It's just going to get to that point where I don't think the Haley player is going to be able to pull ahead on scenario, and is already 10 minutes behind on the clock. So we'll see. It may get to turn 7 before, and unfortunately I couldn't see any of the scores, what was on there. So it may be that they could win if we get into turn 7, but I don't know. So then on the Tyrant one, it looks like unfortunately the Effort Scout lost the duel. There is no Effort Scout on that side of the table anymore, and there's still 2 sniper squads. So that side didn't go well for the Effort Scout. But the Tyrant player is just trying to pick off what he can with the wormwood feet. So he was just picking off a stone. Yeah, when I got past, he shot a stone because of the way the angles work meant that there wasn't 3 inches into the woods. So that looked like quite a big hit because there was a stalker in the triangle ready to go. But again, not much damage taken. There was all the big beasts. I didn't see any beasts being removed. I think there was about 3 halberdiers left. So that big unit of halberdiers is gone.
Once the halberdiers are gone, I mean, it's down to the snipers to actually start to do damages, and if the Ouroboros player can just find a forest to hide in.
Yep.
They can't see through stealth. So
No.
it's going to be a moment where
Tyrant
Cassius is going to run, be Agnoted through, teleport it back, bit of damage, and
the Thane is in front of Tyrant in the bunker to hopefully maybe stop some pull shenanigans. So there is that as well. So obviously Tyrant is aware of being pulled out of the trench. But yeah, I think the stone was a very important piece though, because those AFGs for some reason with Carapace and not being able to be charged, being able to teleport your Stalker into combat with it means that's just a dead battle engine. Not being able to teleport means the threat range is greatly reduced there. And post this feat, so I think it's going to be an important time for the Wormwood player to see what they can do. If next turn they can get that force into the Thyran force, get into combat with those battle engines, I think it'll go the Wormwood player's way, as we thought it would. But I suppose it's a wait and see. Yeah, it was it's still on the. Oh no, it looks like it's just swapped over to the circle players now. Right, on the other table, so Butcher and Helena, they have completely abandoned one side of the table.
Okay, so they're just fighting on the very
there's no
corner.
units. There's one unit of mechanics, which has gone onto the other side of the table, and because it's on that side of the table doing the repairs, Helena's got no units, so they're literally fighting on the right hand side of the table. It's the two clamjacks. There's two clamjacks in the zone. And Behemoth's in the middle zone, and Ruin is kind of just behind them. At the moment, it looks like they're jack trading. It looks like that he's put them in there to just stop any scoring. But whether we see actually Butcher's going to come in next. There was still a few jacks for the Retribution, but they were quite far away. So I don't know whether this is just going. Butcher is just going to then move himself off into the empty zone, just start scoring. Those try and force that.
But he could do that without taking any risk, right?
Exactly, because if he leaves the clamjacks in that far zone where the fight's happening, could leave those two clamjacks there. They wouldn't be able to score for a good few turns, which he's then over there.
They might actually decide to do this on the last, on turn 5 and be like, I'm gonna score 3 and let you deal for 2 turns with those jacks, end of the game,
and then
if 3 points, whatever.
Yeah, if they then suddenly have to run all their stuff in that direction to get towards Butcher, that's exactly what Butcher wants. Lots of jacks coming towards him in threat range. So it's looking. I think it's still in the Butcher player's court there. And then on the far table, it's unfortunate. It does look like it's going the way we thought. There's 2 bunnies terrorising all the Reavers, just 2 spray bunnies murdering lots of Reavers on one side, and then the rest of the army
is just watching.
It's on the other side. The Animantarax is being killed, so that's been taken off. The Mammoth isn't in the zones because that will put it in threat of the Driller, so it looks like he's having to just feed random solos and stuff into the zones. But when it comes to it's like 6 gunners, and you've got 2 Drillers hidden in the pack as well. I don't think that's going Xerxis' way.
So, no.
He's never going to get. It's Parasite Xerxis has got, isn't it? Yeah. So he's never going to get that off because Orin is safely bunkered in. I have seen when Orin was there that he was making sure there was no blast, 4-inch blasts. So with that kind of side of the table, you're not going to be able to blast Orin. So the best bet. You can't. In fact, thinking about it, it actually works. You can't drift. Even if you don't boost, you're probably still going to hit the jacks. So you can't really get drift onto Orin.
You could just camp free, and I don't see Tau Edge blasts being able to. No. Even with Parasite on, it's
So that's what I mean. And then it's just one jack. I think that one's definitely going the Oscar player's way. So based on that, it is looking like Russia win. The way it's going, I mean, we might see some upsets. Assassinations are still a thing, so it might be that. I don't think it's going to happen here, but when you get put into these positions, What I always used to call the Haley effect with the local group was that when people started playing Haley, they used to always complain that they lost, and they used to lose to these really, really small chance assassinations. And the problem is, when you completely dominate your opponent, as Haley used to do, I mean she still does, but used to do even more, that when they're there going, well, I have a 10% assassination chance or I lose, they will always go for the 10%, and then that means you lose 1 in 10 games. Because and this is the thing, if you push, one of the things with War Machine is that assassination is always a thing, no matter how small a chance. So if you're not too busy crushing your opponent, that you crush them to the point where their only shot is to go for an assassination, then you're letting the dice decide at that point. Whether you could maybe not kill everything and be safer so that there's no assassination there, and then win over another turn. That is what I see when you watch the sort of the real, like watching Pat, Pat Bot, current world champion. When you watch him play, everything is very precise. The amount of times when I've been like, okay, in he goes, he's going to go in and start killing things, and he just doesn't. He'll just put in maybe 1 or 2 of the models, and it's because he knows that in return he can only lose those 2 models, so he's willing to. He only sacrifices.
He's very careful and making sure that
and that's the thing. So and this is, as I said, like assassinations can always be there, and as you say, if it's 10% or nothing,
you're going to take it.
You want to make sure there's nothing there, and maybe not kill an extra beast. But as long as you know that you can kill that beast the following turn, then
you're fine. Yeah, it's about not being too greedy and be able to see the things like 2 turns or 3 turns away, because. It's true that, for example, let's take this game here. So a couple of minutes ago I was saying, oh, the Skorne is in the commanding position because he was able to get the Hydra into the face of everybody, and that's it is winning. And I think this is basically it. This is like, hey, I have this chance of, chewing up all those models, and I think I'm going to be fine. And on the other end, the Stryker player is like, I'm not going to commit Stryker. I'm just going to commit whatever is necessary, but I know it's going to do the job, and I don't need to go, use all those big things right away. Because I don't have to. Even if it's if sending Stryker on overload into the Hydra was a certain way of making sure it was dead.
Yep. But then that, as we said, we were kind of like, if it comes to it, he's going to have to make sure he does it. That Hydra has to die. But because he made sure he did everything else before committing that, it meant that, and he saw the damage, there was some good early damage.
Yeah, there was some good damage. Yeah.
So at that point, he knows he doesn't have to commit him. He'll commit the other things, kill the Hydra, and then he just moves Stryker back into a safe position, camps, puts
probably
up his shield
very
on
close
him.
to the kill, outside of the kill box.
So I'd imagine for probably 3 attacks, I think he's probably got like 3 focus on him there. He's going to be armor 24 for 3 attacks.
So it's fine. There's no
Absolutely.
way.
There's
About
no-
12 is going to hit that.
Exactly.
12 plus 12 is 24.
Exactly.
So that's it.
So I think this is probably just now the slow grind. I can't see anywhere. Where have the Lancers come from the top?
So what happened when you were away is like it took the Stormblade that was on the top and moved them in the middle.
Right. Okay. So he's abandoned that top zone.
But who does he really care? Because the Skorne player has to put
His beast handlers in there to score,
to
or
score.
Xerxis in there to score.
So he might want to do this, but at some point with all those Stormlances going in the middle, he's going to be able to do more charges into the Skorne player War Beast at some point. And if there's only 1 or 2 left, and there's only Xerxis in the end, and just be standards, it can take a couple of turns just to make sure pot shots here and there, and those are dead, and those are dead, and then he's going to start scoring quietly with 1, Firefly in the middle. I mean, like I score 2, you score 1, I score 2, you score 1. That's it.
Yeah.
So some of the other games are done from Team
Wales, New Zealand.
I think so.
We have more people moving in front of us.
All the way to the end of the field.
Lots of movement. Okay, so what we measure now here. So it looks like the Gladiator is going in.
Yep, as it should be doing.
Try and kill that Ironclad, but as you said, that then means
Well, I
that
have-
repercussion will be.
Will Xerxis be in range to control the Gladiator?
It's on Zaadesh.
You're right again. I forgot that.
This crazy Zaadesh tech. So what we got going on in chat?
So where is Zaadesh? He has a big sword. It's probably the thing on top there.
Favorite model? What is your favorite model in all of the game? Although if we're going for just solo, someone did suggest the Kador Mouse Phantasm. I think that's a pretty cool model.
Which one?
Have you not seen the Phantasms for the Dreamer?
Oh yeah,
The little mouse with the Kador
but
hat.
I've seen one that's painted, but it was full blue, so I couldn't pick like the details and everything. I had.
Okay. Beautiful model. I am a Grimkin player now myself.
Oh.
I love that. I love that model. The big plushy Titan is amazing as well. That's a really, really good model. Which I think was my favourite. Child. I actually think Child is probably my favourite model in War Machine
Well,
at the moment.
the child, the caster,
Yep.
because it's a total rip-off of Annie from League of Legends.
Yeah, totally. I do enjoy though. Everyone says about how it's a rip-off of Malifaux, and it's like, have you seen the Malifaux model? It looks nothing like it. And Mr. What's his name? Chompy Bits.
I don't play many forms.
Okay, there's a guy, and it's a little sleeping boy, and he's kind of got that very much more Peter Pan look about him. And then there's like this demon monster thing that
Behind him?
Behind him. No, it's not directly behind him. It's just that it's with him. And everyone's like, oh, it's a rip-off. It's like, it's not rip-off. It's a rip-off. Annie, playing the Annie. I mean, obviously not. League of Legends people ignore it. It's not. We like PP. But yeah, it's, you know, I love the fact that the big beast behind it is called Dolly as well. That just makes me happy. When I say that Dolly is, my Dolly is beating you up, it just, you know, just the extra level of ridicule for your opponent there when you do it. But yeah.
And while we're talking, I think the Gladiator just took out the Swordjack.
Yeah, right.
So Cygnar player is a bit less options here. But probably is it going to be able to score one? I'm not sure.
Oh, we've got someone called Tunuk. I think he's trolling. He says his favorite. I'm not sure if it's his favorite or his what he hates.
Rules-wise,
his favorite rule is Lance rule, which we all know is an abomination and should be
Absolutely.
removed.
And the scope is the Assault Commandos, where the head is so ugly that you swap them for something from.
I do. I must
range.
admit, I do like the Assault Commandos. I like the aesthetic of them. But yes, I will admit,
The heads, I don't know. I've seen so many players just taking the things from another famous and popular game in 40,000 years in the future.
All right, okay.
And putting those
Next to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, those heads from the Imperial Guard. I don't remember the exact faction.
Death Corps.
Death Corps. And putting them instead and be like, oh, much better.
Yeah, they're not. Although to be fair, they are really old models now.
Yeah, that's true.
I did wonder actually when we saw the renewal of Stryker2, whether we were going to see new plastic Assault Commandos and an Assault Commando theme. But obviously they've gone with the Man of War. I'm not sure what they do for an Assault Commando theme. I don't think they really lend themselves to.
I haven't looked into the Katherine themes. I just
Yeah.
remember,
They're like
playing
the-
against Jax, and that's it.
They're meant to be like the equivalent of like the bit that I had never understood though is they're meant to be the ones that fight in the trenches against Cygnar. Okay, but they're immune to fire and ice. I never understood that. Surely the Kador tech people should be like, well, what are they using? Lightning. So what we should be protecting ourselves against? Lightning. And you know they're covered in these big rubber things which will protect them, but obviously not.
Yeah.
The Grey Lords can't hurt them, which is probably a good thing, you know, for a Kador, because they're immune to.
No, they're immune to corrosion fire, and the Grey
It's
Lords are immune to
corrosion, that's it,
frost,
sorry.
frost, right? And then
Yes.
not immune to lightning, and so lightning.
So
can
men
go
off
through.
and pricks, they're okay.
Yeah.
Not Cygnar though.
Yeah. So fluff-wise, they should go back to.
Yeah, they need to get some rubber boots. Put big rubber heels on the Assault Commandos, and you know what? Actually, I have played them a bit. They're okay. They're just.
I think
They're
they're
just
fine. It's just that
not-
there's many, you know, other things are more powerful than them right now, and so you don't want, you know that in a specific kind of game, or if you know you're gonna play against an opponent that's gonna be probably, I don't know, blight with a lot of shootings or something like that, you're not gonna take them.
Yep.
I mean, you're gonna take them, you know, if you know
Oh,
that
yeah,
your opponent's
yeah,
gonna take that, but you're not gonna take them otherwise because you're gonna say, oh, my Iron Fist is better, or if I want shooting, my Winter Guard is gonna be better anyway. I'm gonna, you know, it's the Vlad 1 Winter Guard thing. I'm like, yep,
Yeah,
I
if
just.
you want shooting, you've got, I played them with Stryker 1, and I never understood why they took it away with Stryker 2, but Stryker 1, he's great with them because he can put occultation on them, he's veteran leader for them, so they're actually then Rat 6, just naturally Rat 6, so they do have, at that 10-inch range, the same accuracy as the Winter to guard, but they don't have the rockets.
But don't you want to put a quotation on something better?
Yeah, probably.
It's
Also, this was the other confusing part, is obviously you've got Strakov's feat, which is a very aggressive feat, and it wants you to be charging in to destroy, you throw all your jacks in, you throw like iron fangs in, all this kind of stuff, but wants to be charging, doing lots of damage, taking advantage of it. They kind of go in and they're not really all there with they've got assault, but an assault at a power, I think it's a power 11 on the charge, because it's 9 with the damage. You're not really going to be taking much.
Yeah, it's just a matter of having 2 attacks against another infantry model, maybe.
Yeah. Also, the funny part of it as well is that when they do charge with Strakov's feet, so they get this super long threat range, they normally charge outside of the veteran leader bubble, which is sad. Which is very sad, yeah. So you kind of at that point you kind of get a bit confused as to
my tablet.
How it should go. So yeah. A couple of changes I think they'd be very interesting. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
We've got Adam Williams come over to say hello.
You're live on Rep page.
Live on the Rep page.
One person watching.
Hello Rep page.
I'll put it up later.
Stop being so whiny. It's okay.
We're not whining. We're not the critics of the Cygnar page.
And
You're never allowed to complain because you've got the AFG.
AFG's awesome. And anyone, Jay Larson is a fool because he keeps saying that we all hate it, but we all love it. It's just no one can get one. We're all cheap types buy them full price.
in the meantime, we have something happening. The Animantarax is moving. I don't know exactly what's happening.
I think he's moving around. He's going to poke some shots into the Stormlancers.
Not sure. I mean, is it trying to try? Cause
Right, so he's speed that up. Obviously, I'm not sure, I didn't spot it because we were discussing the other thing, but one of the advantages of the Siege Animantarax is it can actually do its melee attacks with the spears before moving, which I think is what it's just done.
But he thought, wait, this is... Because he moved a bit, then he attacked, and then he finished moving, which makes me think those were some kind of impact attacks. But you need to do those 3 inches, I'm not sure they were 3 inches. I don't know. It's done now, so it doesn't matter. And this one is working, so if the charge now is going to be able to shoot.
So he's got 3 shots. He's got 1 lance that's in the zone. To 10, that looks like a hit. Power 15, so dice of 2. That's the lance gone. Getting some work out of this Animantarax there. Missed the second shot, the third shot, finish off the lancers. Hits. 7's to kill, rolls an 8. Gets him. Whoops. So that Animantarax just kill 1, 2, 4 lancers in a turn.
That's a lot of lancers.
That is a lot of lancers. I can imagine some shades just appearing down slowly. With it. And the Reaver on top's just like deal with it.
You know what? We should have done this.
I think I've just realised as well. Have we been tracking the turns? Because I think this is turn 4
no,
at
next
least.
time it's going to be turn 4 when the single player is going to play.
No, because Skorne started.
Skorne started?
Yeah.
Oh, so we're on turn 4 definitely.
We are on turn 4.
Oops.
Right, so it looks like one of the games is finished. That would be the Butcher game. Okay, what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to go and see what happened with that Butcher game and then see where everything else is up to.
Yep.
I think we're kind of happy where this one is.
Find out.
Yeah. So I will be right back.
And I'm going to start. Already starting my stuff. Everything is breaking today. That's awesome. So the Skorne player still has the Animantarax in the bottom zone, which is pretty good. I don't think the Animantarax can actually survive a charge with like all those Storm Soldiers and Laddermore, but we'll see. We'll see. There is no more Agonizers. The Animantarax has only so many boxes. And the team was able to get rid of the Hydra before we got so many help from the Stormlands. So might just happen here, but the Cygnar player also have to take in consideration that he has to take care of the Gladiator. And needs to put some kind of resources into that. So I guess it really depends how the Cygnar players want to go. Does he have enough resources to take care of those 2 threats? If he can deal with those 2 threats, I'm going to say it's game, but the Skorne player will be left with an Archidon, probably a Krea somewhere, and Beast Handlers.
I was thinking if there is like...
All the time? Yeah, no.
I was okay, I'm looking at one thing.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it's 5 minutes or 14 minutes that left in the Chinese player's clock, but we're starting to get actually something we might have not considered properly, but that time seems to be starting to be very low here. I'm gonna ask Chris quickly to check on the time.
You blocked me! When they were all coming around, I was like, there's something wrong.
Chris?
Yeah, he is a bit. My bad, I should know that, and I do know that.
Chris? Sorry guys.
Oh, so different.
Well, I'm pretty sure that on Skorne player's side it's less than 10 minutes for sure. I'm not sure if it's only 4 minutes or 14 minutes on the Cygnar player side. It's 3 minutes. It's 14, right? Yeah. Can you check on the clock for the Chinese player? I wasn't sure if he had 13 or 3 minutes, but I think it's 13.
Yeah, I think it's 13.
When he came in, we're going to be in there, who's saying they're there, and they're not moving, you would have been like, but I know they're hard to hit him, but that would have had a lot more attacks on him. Test that frenzy.
It's 13? Okay, so the Skorne player is really going to clock himself before the end of this.
Right, so...
Animantarax has been charged. Wait, we have something charging Animantarax. I don't know what that is, but it has focus on it. Would it be Stryker? Could it be Stryker? I think it is
Quite a
Stryker.
good chance, yeah.
Okay, so we have to go this. Okay, Stryker, show me what you got.
Just to give a quick update while he's doing the damage there, the Butcher Fleet player 1, the red player...
It's gone!
Oh, it's just gone! I kind of feel we needed like a Super Saiyan.
Stryker is pretty happy right now.
So we got... So Butcher player 1, the red player clocked out. Basically, they just were trying trades, but it looks like not a lot actually died, and unfortunately that left the China player to clock out. On the far table with the Skorne, Mammoth is now gone. It's really not looking nice for the... I think that came down to the lists. I think that Xerxis list was going to really do well.
It would have been Xerxis2, I would have said, oh, maybe as a shot of feeding and just, Hellfire. But it's Xerxis1, and that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, so it looks like that'll be a Russia win there. So that's 2. On this table, it looks like it's actually going to go to China.
Yeah, because the player has 3 minutes left. Okay, he has only 3, main models to move: the Gladiator, the Archidon, probably a Krea somewhere around there. I guess it's something that's just going to stay somewhere to contest. But the thing's going to happen is that Stryker is scoring right now.
Yep.
And Xerxis cannot just move and attack Stryker. It's never going to happen. So that's another point, and that's going to be another point afterwards.
So
another point afterwards. So
2-1. The Kruger game, actually now the Kruger is less than 5 minutes. So I don't know what's happened, but there is a walled raft literally sat in the middle of one of the zones. There's not a lot left of that Haley 3 army.
Okay.
There's not a lot left of it. There's the walled raft still alive. Kruger's obviously still alive. it looks like that's going to come down the clock either way. I couldn't call it because I don't think either's got a good chance of probably murdering the other. So that one could go either way. And then, even though we were saying we were quite happy that the wall, we reckon the Wormwood is going to win, both heavies have gone. And Tyrant is just in the zone. He's just loving it. He is just taking it.
Okay.
So either that is going to
With
go.
both of these guns, it's going to be complicated to take out Tyrant.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
So
That could end up actually being a China win with just Tyrant man-moding it all the way through. So we'll see how that works. Because actually, it's all to play for in that case because we've got probably 2-1 currently. If the Tyrant does win, which looks like it's actually possible, and we also have Kruger win. That'll be 3-2 to China.
Whoops.
Which considering they look like they had one really good matchup there, they actually had I think 2 really good matchups. So that was their definite 2 they've got already. They've come home. So I mean, we did think that it was going to go to Butcher and Ostrom, so they're done. The surprise is obviously the Wormwood. We were split on the Kruger Haley 3.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Something is happening as the Gladiator seems to be gone. Or is it the Krea? I think it's a Krea. I don't know. He's removing fury from somewhere. There's been attacks. Something is attacking something, and dice are being rolled, but I can't see. Okay, no, it's not. I think one of the Krea is gone, and the Gladiator is on a dozen of boxes left. And if there is positive charge somewhere, it's like 2 points left for the Gladiator, and there is, I can see at least Laddermore being able to charge in. If the Gladiator is out, I don't see how the Skorne player is going to come back.
No. To be fair, I'm kind of pretty sure now it is probably the Cygnar. Cygnar game.
Okay, so I'm going to lose my bet on this one.
Yep. So we're both on 2 so far. Both done well. We might both lose the Wormwood one. So it's gonna, Kruger as well. Kruger and Haley 3. Oh.
So it's straight down to what? Who's going to clock himself out?
Yeah, that really does look like he's going to clock himself out.
I think the advantage will go to the Kruger player, right? Because you can just put the broad rifle in and be like, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Clock, 15 seconds. Clock, you have to deal with my shit.
Yeah. It depends if any score, because as well, being that this is a pretty dead scenario, I'm not sure anyone would have actually got any points.
Wait, is it the table in the middle here?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't see the...
It's the one. No, it's the one to the left.
Okay.
It's the first one there.
Oh, okay.
The one in the middle is the Wormwood Tyrant.
Okay, yeah.
Which you can just see Tyrant being a boss, like midway up the table. So, yeah, this is all to play for. Strangely enough, I thought this one was going to end up sort of 4-1 to Russia. China might actually pull it back.
And we have something charging with the Skorne player. The Skorne player took the, so it's probably turn 5 now?
Yes.
Oops. Turn 5, and I'm pretty sure, I think the model here is probably is the Skorne model, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or Zaadesh somewhere.
I think that is the Stormblade. Looks like
so
Stormblade.
this is going to be a point for Cygnar.
Yeah.
It would have been a big mistake from Dave because
So it's Zaadesh that is charging right now. I see many rolls being...
I think so, yeah. Yes, that must be his desk because he's using Fury.
Up, killed. And so Zaadesh
Probably a
being
captain.
zone. Yeah.
Archidon's coming across.
Not going to change much. 2 minutes on the clock. The Skorne players.
Archidon looks like he's trying to run, maybe.
So schedule wise.
What's happened with the 10?
Sorry? Huh? I have something about the scoring that is not proper. Although it is supposed to be proper.
Is there too many gaps in between us?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Nah, cool.
So Paingiver Beastanders going in like champs, but it's removing things because remember the Beastanders have that thing that when they hit, they just do 1 point on living models. So he's removing things. He has 1 minute 26 on the clock right now. What's wrong?
It just didn't have the 5.
Okay.
Bizarre.
Oh, true. Yeah. Okay.
Damn gremlins.
Archidon is charging in. I think he's probably going for the most, as many destruction points as he can.
Yeah.
Reposition. I mean, yeah, whatever.
Actually, you know what? That would actually get him a point there as well.
Yeah, because it's there. And Xerxis can actually run like crazy on top if he does that.
To get 2.
Yeah, and that would be 2
1.
1. That's something. Okay, and clock in. Okay, 2 2 1. So, if we see this changing.
Okay, so they're both low clock. So
Come
we're gonna
back
see
now.
That's kind of stopped those 50 seconds.
The issue I think is just Laddermore is going to do D3 Electroleap, get rid of most of all those Paingiver. Now, actually they can get rid of all of the Beastanders right away. And then there's going to be a turn where Xerxis is going to score, Stryker is going to score, and then there's going to be a turn where the Skorne player will not be able to score.
Yeah.
And that's it. And
although we've only got 2 more turns
well,
left.
the thing is, like, he has 44 seconds left, so
yeah. So he's got 3 turns. So we can't finish the game, but he's going to have to do it without killing anything, basically.
Actually, 1, too bad, only 1 guy. He dies. I mean, I know you have to all dies, but position in or out? Position in or out? In
3 positions in.
Well, that could be, if the Chinese player could play the things like this, where he puts all of his cavalry next to another, and be like, okay, you can charge with your Archidon now. I hope you have more. You're gonna be able to do your job in 44 secones of removing those 3 models.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to hit and damage, and they have boxes. So.
Stormblade member kills 1. So he's got 2 Storm Lancers and Stryker.
He has to clear the zones.
Looks like he's got, 5 minutes? Just under 6 minutes left. So he's not in a
5
real
minutes is
big rush.
plenty to just kill 4 models. So that's it. Because at the end of that turn, if this is happening this way, we're going to be 3-2, right? And those ones is going to be contested. Stryker's going to be able to score down. Xerxis is going to be able to score on the top zone.
Yeah.
Then, at some point, it will require one of the cavalry to actually run on top of their zone and contest Xerxis and be like, nope, that's it. 1-1-3, not sure something.
All the other games are still going. So we've only got 1 result in, which is 1 win for Russia. It looks like it's going to be 2-1 at this rate, but you never know. This could. I definitely think it's going to be 2 wins for Russia. Actually, what I'll do is I'm just going to go find out, and I'll turn off on the streams while I'm there.
Let's bring Stryker very far away. Yeah, we have most of those games are coming to an end now. Okay, this one is dead. reposition back, contesting as we said. Zeren is being ready to receive either this Archidon charge and have the Skorne player having to kill Laddermore and Dragoon and yada 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 and the other cavalry, and then they will be able to contest again and everything. So it's going to be very complicated, I think, for Dimitri to deal.
That's my flag to go in the house.
So yeah, 47, moving Xerxis quickly. Enrage or report, I guess. Archidon's charging, and it's one focus, 1 to charge. Double ones. That's already number. I mean, maybe not a charge actually. I'm not sure. 7, 8. It should hit. And that's not gonna happen. We are 13, 12, 11. And 4, 3, 2, 1. This is it.
Okay, so
the Skorne player clocked himself, and it's a victory for Cygnar and the Chinese team.
in China. We have on the far the Austrian player did win.
As expected.
As expected, or I believe, I was told. It looks like Kruger did win. He had an assassination opportunity, which he didn't take, just so he could guarantee the scenario win. So that is 2-2. So it all comes down to Wormwood versus Tyrant, and Tyrant's still halfway up the board, being a boss.
So you said it's Kruger 1?
Kruger won, yeah.
Kruger 1, okay.
Kruger won.
So there are 2-2, and it's this last game that is to be decided, but Tyrant seems to be in a commanding position, right?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Well,
so this is still down to the wire. It comes